Let's do it.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Brian with DD214. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification. Well, it's Wednesday evening, and here we are. So, all right, let's talk just a minute about what's happening tonight. This week, we had an issue. We ended up de-leasing a driver, and we're going to talk about when and how you have to make the hard decisions. Okay. I would rather be anywhere in the world but talking about this mess tonight, but we're going to talk about it. So before we get going, let's go ahead and thank our veterans and first responders for all you do and all you continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are without you. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they are in danger around the world. All right. Wounded Warrior Project, St. Jude's Research Children's Hospital is our charity of choice. We donate to them every year. If you can help us with that, I will work with you direct. And next week, just so you know, we are unveiling what we are matching. So we're really excited about it. We're going to unveil how much money we raised, what we're going to match, which will be 100% of whatever was raised. And then we're going to cut a check and send it next week. So thanks everybody who helped us help them. All right. Diesel prices. Diesel prices are down again this week to an average of $4.092. Great news, man. $4.092. That's down another almost 5.5 cents from a week ago. So that is awesome. News. I know I'm going through this fast, but we've got a lot to cover tonight. Transportation capacity grows faster in November as prices continue to slide. Again, we have too many trucks in this market, guys. Now is not the time to be thinking about getting into this thing. Uber Freight CEO says that shipping recession is at a tipping point and that fuel, if another spike in fuel, it could really tip it over here. So now California bans the sale of new diesel trucks by 2036. Can you believe that? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. So, you know, I think they're on a definitely a slide to ruin. All right. Now we had 10 ELDs, another 10 ELDs removed from the FMCSA's list of registered devices. Now you need to, if you're running one of these, you need to get it replaced by January 30th, 2023. Okay, you should probably go ahead and start running paper logs and get that thing replaced. All right, back this up and look at those again and make sure that you are not part of that. So, all right, pictures of the week. This is from James. Hey, James, look at this. I think James should have just brought that thing to the house. I think I could have used that. I like it. And so our next one around is our picture of the week here. This is Robert, and Robert turned into a farmer and started hauling hay. A lot of hay on that trailer, man. I think it was 14,800 pounds on that bad boy. This is Ian, this is another cool truck. I think it wouldn't fit in my garage though, but it's pretty cool and it looks heavy. So yeah, so that's where we're at with that. Now, under the hood tonight, making the hard decisions. What would you do? Okay. Guys, you know, in every business, you're going to have issues with people you work with, one way or another, and you've got to learn to cut the cancer out to save the body. And this week we had to make a tough decision, and it wasn't made just by me; it was made by my team. I will tell you that the situation was that this driver went on personal conveyance and drove 15 hours straight on personal conveyance. That was 806 miles from Massachusetts to Lexington, North Carolina. Okay. So the downside to it is that he had been placed out of service. First of all, it's totally illegal. Secondly, and it's illegal in multiple ways. Okay. You can't PC like that. You damn sure can't drive 15 hours straight. Okay. So on both areas, he had been placed out of service for falsifying logs over his 14 hours, load not secured properly. So, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I would rather be doing anything else than having to cover this, but I think we're going to use it as a learning opportunity. I got a good bit of stuff going here. I got papers everywhere. We've got stuff on the computer screen. It's just a lot. Now, I'm not going to be an ass and throw his name out to the world as he's done me. But what I will do is I did redact this letter. I took out proprietary information for the company, and I took out any kind of name other than my own. I mean, I don't care. But here we go. I want to go ahead and put up this letter, please. So there's the letter. And I'm going to read you this letter. Now, guys, I'm a little sorry about this letter thing here because I didn't realize it was going to be so small. So I'll read it. But it says, to him from me, notice of breach and termination. I will replace his name with driver. So driver, it is with a heavy heart that you are hereby notified that you are in breach of the independent contract agreement, your probation, and your agreement is being terminated with immediate effect. On Sunday, November 3rd, 2023, we were contacted by a person asking a question about one of your videos. This person asked how you were able to run from Massachusetts to North Carolina on personal conveyance. First, we went up and we checked your videos. We found out that I personally had been blocked from your account. We then checked your logs and found out that you had run 806 miles and drove 15 hours straight. As an owner-operator, you made the decision to break the law, to endanger the public at large, to endanger yourself, to endanger your family, to endanger your team members, and to endanger DD-214 transport as an ongoing concern. And this is beyond reproach. As an owner-operator, it was your decision to break the law. And when these logs are audited, by the FMCSA, you may lose your CDL. The decision to terminate your agreement was not made lightly and only done after consultation with the FMCSA, DOT, and members of our team. As a fellow Marine, I used every avenue I could not to terminate your agreement, but at last, your actions, your poor decision-making skills, and failure to learn left me no option. Now, in this, I want to talk to you guys about one thing. There was a letter written to the FMCSA. It was an email, and in this, I'm going to come off here just one second. I'll bring it back up. But in this email, this is on Monday, by the way. I'd already talked to him by then, but I was just looking for maybe another way that I could not have to terminate him. But I wrote an email to the FMCSA. I wrote an email and I said, I have a question. I said, we have a lease-owned driver that unloaded in Massachusetts. He was stuck in Mass for 2 days with no freight. He completed the 34-hour reset, and without our knowledge, this driver PC'd home to North Carolina for Thanksgiving, 806 miles. My question, or question one, is that legal under the current regulations? And within just a little bit, I don't know exactly when I sent it and when they sent it back, but it was, oh my Lord, it was 6 minutes. 6 minutes it took them to answer this question. And what they answered was this. And they highlighted it. And it says, personal conveyance examples, not personal conveyance. Time spent traveling to a motor carrier's terminal, and then in parentheses, or an owner-operator's point of origin, Lexington, North Carolina, after loading or unloading from a shipper or a receiver. And, you know, at that point, I didn't have a choice to do what I had to do. So, yeah. So let's go on with this. 6 minutes. It's hard to believe. I didn't realize it was that quick. All right. Let's put that other page back up, please. Let's go this way. All right. Like I said, guys, we got pages everywhere with this mess. All right. So here's the history of what happened. I'm going to give you guys the history. We're going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to move on. All right. So the history is this. On October 23, 2023, you were placed out of service for violation 49 CFR 395 8E1-PC, hours of service. Explanation. On October 23, you were found to be in violation of the same code. This regulation stipulates that the maximum allowable hours of service for a commercial motor vehicle. And see, these are the things everybody's got to understand. It don't matter if you're an owner operator. It don't matter if you're a company driver. You are in a commercial motor vehicle. You exceeded the prescribed hours by switching to personal conveyance which poses a severe risk to both safety, your safety, and the safety of others on the road. Violation 49 CFR 395-3A, prop, record keeping and false reports. Explanation. On October 23rd, it was discovered that you had violated this CFR by failing to maintain accurate records of your duty status. This FMCSA, the FMCSA mandates that commercial motor vehicle drivers, remember the little card you got that you signed that said, I will follow the rules? That's your license. Must keep precise and truthful records, including duty hours, off-duty hours, and rest period. Your failure to do so undermines our commitment to safety and compliance. The third one was for cargo placement and restraint. I'm not going to read a bunch about that. He was cited for that. Put his truck out of service. October 24th. Okay. A correspondence titled Owner-Operator Notice was sent to all drivers, clarifying the personal conveyance issue. On this notice, under what is examples of use of CMV that would not qualify as personal conveyance. Number 7, time spent traveling to a motor carrier's terminal after loading or unloading from a shipper or a receiver. So you were notified. He was notified October 24th. Okay. October 25th, you were placed on 30-day probation and notified that during this probation, you will closely be monitored to ensure that you fully comply with all FMCSA compliance safety policies. Any further violation or non-compliance during this period will result in the termination of your lease agreement with our company. Now, I want to tell you, I talked to this driver, and he's been to my house. I know him. And I asked this driver, if you were me, how would you handle this situation? And his comment was, I go light on me. And I said, fine, we'll do this. We'll go light on you this time. Okay. Now the rest of this page is proprietary information that contains information that's not being disseminated to public. So the next paragraph says, at some point, you posted on social media a road rage incident for which you were the aggressor, and you committed an assault on the other driver. We contacted you and advised you that you had committed assault and should take it down for your own good. I didn't say that, excuse me, I was just ad-libbing. Should take it down, for which you stated, I don't care. This is the second road rage incident that we know of since you started with DD 214. On the 21st day, while still on probation, on November 21st, excuse me, while you were still on probation, you posted on social media that you were beyond frustrated and were going to go on personal conveyance and drive home for Thanksgiving. This is a violation of the personal conveyance regulations as set forth by the FMCSA and your probation, point blank. On November 21st and 22nd, you did move your equipment from Worcester, Mass to Lexington, North Carolina in direct violation of personal conveyance regulations, the 11-hour rule, the 14-hour rule, and the 30-minute break rule. You drove 15 hours at 806 miles, endangering yourself, other drivers, and DD-214 transport. This next part, again, now, if you go to the middle of this page here, it says, your actions demonstrate a clear and present danger to DD-214 Transport, LLC, the community at large, and a disregard for company policies, safety regulations, the law, and the well-being of your team. This decision aims to ensure the safety and integrity of our operations. Sincerely, me. Now, I will tell you this, okay? I'm going to go down to the next page real quick, please. He has climbed on social media and bashed me, the dispatch team he was running under, and, it seems to be everybody's fault that he broke the law but himself. Now, in this freight recession, and it sucks, people, in 30 days, he made $18,363.75. Okay? So, you can't say he wasn't running. All right. Yes, that is the last page here. So, just a second. And I want to show you guys something real quick. This is the email. It's hard to see. God, I hate that. But this is the email from, it took 6 minutes to answer. That's where I asked the question, FYI, the attached. And that's what they sent us right there. There was no bones about it. It didn't take an hour for them to figure it out. They sent that in 6 minutes. Okay, so that's that part of it. Now, that's the letter he received in part. There are some redacted areas in it, but that's the letter he received. Now, so Sunday, when all this broke loose, and that we looked at his logs, and it was like, Jesus Christ. What we had to do is we had to get the attorneys together. We got compliance together. We got dispatch together. Mila and I were working on this, and we pounded it out. I mean, it was all day Sunday, all day. And this is what we went through, so you understand. And at the end of this, there's going to be a question. So you listen to the questions and let me know. Comments and stuff going on yet? Good. Hold your comments until we're done, and then I want that question answered. All right. First of all, the deleasing process did not go as planned. Okay. The situation was this. I'll tell you what happened in a minute, but the situation was this. The driver, I got to get this up on the board. I'm sorry. I can't already read off of this paper. It's the same thing here. Let me pop it up here real quick. All right, here's the deleasing process. Now let me open up the deleasing process here where I can read it. All right, now I can see it. My old eyes is hurting on me. All right. So the situation was this. The driver was under a load in Florida and was scheduled to pick up another load going to Texas after he dropped. We had very little time on Sunday to make a critical decision. Now, as we sat around and tried to figure all this out and had the FMCSA websites all open, had all this done, our considerations were this. We had to consider the fact that this driver was already on a 30-day probation for similar issues. Okay. The fact that 6 weeks of logs are visible during any roadside inspection. The fact there was a considerable chance that he would be stopped going to Texas, especially through Louisiana. There was the fact that there was considerable chance that he'd be stopped again in South Carolina. South Carolina is where he got placed out of service for the same thing. South Carolina is where he got rode up for windshield wipers being inoperable and having a tag light out. Okay. So these are all the considerations. You know, another consideration was, well, what if we told him while he was under the load, what would his reaction be? You know, we already have him a history of poor decision making, extremely impulsive, a history of road rage. Okay, so what's he going to do? He could hijack the load. He could destroy the load. Would he crash? Because he's definitely going to be distracted. All right. So these are the things that we're dealing with. Now, questions, again, considerations. What is our legal liability should he get in an accident? Okay, so now we know he's just violated the law. What would our legal liability be for not doing something? What is our responsibility to the public? Okay. And then what is our responsibility as a carrier to our staff and our other team members that depend on? All this stuff had to be considered. And it was. I mean, we went through it. And it just, it wasn't, none of this was easy. Okay. Next page, please. Thank you. All right. So the first decision was that we could not put him on another load to Texas. We couldn't put him on a load to Texas. There was just too much risk of him being pulled over and being placed out of service. You know, Louisiana is terrible. That's where we got hit with another driver being placed out of service. Second decision was, well, we couldn't put him on another load to North Carolina. There was too much risk of him being pulled over and placed out of service. So the third decision was that we would de-lease him in Florida after he unloaded. That was our best option. That was really the only option. So what happened next was I contacted dispatch, had them remove the load off the driver. Dispatch contacted the broker the next morning and told him what was going on. The fucking broker calls the driver and tells him what dispatch had told. That is not the way it was supposed to go down. It's not the way it was supposed to happen, but it is what it is. I hate it happen like that, but it is what it is. So Monday, after I spoke with the driver, I was still trying to figure out an angle, some way. That's when I contacted the FMCSA and DOT with the question. And running his logs back, according to him, he had already, and this is just stuff that was sent to me off of his thing, he had already cleared his 34 hours. So, according to him, and looking at his logs, the craziest part about this whole thing is that if he would have drove legally home, he would have been there the same day, just later in the afternoon or early evening, the day before Thanksgiving, the 22nd. 22nd. Remember that date. So, to my team members, and everybody out there that's listening, I want you to understand that in the end, it was the driver's behavior, his decisions, that left us with no options but to de-lease him. Now, remember this. This driver didn't give a damn about anybody but himself. He didn't care about the other drivers he works with. He didn't care about the public at large that he endangered. He didn't care about his family. If he had been killed, what were they going to do? He didn't care about his team members. He didn't care about DD-214. And he damn sure didn't give a shit about me. Now, here's the question for you. Get your typewriter. I'm sorry. I'm guys, listen to what I got to say. I am at wit's end with this. I hate it to my core, and I don't know what else to say about it. But get your questions ready, or get your answers ready. I'm sorry, I'm not ready for questions. So, knowing the situation, here's the question. What would you do? Would you do nothing? Would you reload him and send him to Texas, which is way further away than where he was at in Florida? Would you reload him to North Carolina? Would you reload him at any cost to your company? Would you immediately de-lease him? Or do you have another suggestion? What would you do is the question. So I'm going to wait here for a few minutes, and we're going to pop the answers up on the screen. So Mila, if you have anything that people are saying at this point, not questions, but answers to this question, would you please pop them on the screen? Immediately terminate. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate it. Anything else? Okay, everybody's typing. So, guys, I've been through a good bit of mess this week with this. And again, I can't tell you enough. I can't tell you enough how bad I hate it. You know, Marines have a bond, and we have this bond. It's really kind of weird, but I mean, we're there. But when somebody so blatantly just disregards everything, you don't have a choice. And what you got? Go ahead, just do it. Facebook user, Bryan, I enjoyed listening to your videos. You're generally a good guy. This driver has definitely got some red flags. Definitely terminate. Thank you, sir. Frank D. Trucks. He didn't give you any choice. Not on you at all. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. I would delete him. I would have done the same thing as you done. Okay, same thing. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. You did the right thing, Brian. I know it's tough. It is tough, Jim. It's hey, Sharon. You guys did the right thing. Yes, sir. Man, I appreciate it. I just I hate it. You're looking. I'd be afraid to take the chance. They do it once, they'll do it again. He did it twice. This is twice he did it. He's going to call her all the drivers. I agree. I mean, guys, I preach this stuff that we are all in this together. Everything you do affects me. It affects how everything here gets done. If you make life hard on everybody around you, if you get put out of service, you've hurt everybody, because now our numbers are climbing. Our safety score is going down. And, with all that's going on out there, we can't afford to have a bad safety score. We can't afford to be doing this foolishness. So the only thing, when it all come down to zero, the only options we had was the option he gave us. So, yeah. I don't know. What else I got? Anything? Are we done? Oh, no, we're not done. I don't even know if I want to go down this route. I kind of got a little pissy after seeing some of his posts, because like I said, he blamed everybody but himself for doing what he did. So he posted a bunch of bullshit, and yeah, I'm going to go down the road. I'm going to be a little petulant. He's been a petulant little bitch for 3-4 days. So I'm going with him, So, guys, understand. Was there any more comments? We got anything else? Any more thoughts? Says, you had calls. I think you're taking this way too personal. You thank God nothing more serious happened. Great call. Vetting these guys more closely may be something. That's a beautiful, beautiful comment, and I appreciate that. I do take it personal because he's a United States Marine, and so am I. So I expect more from him, and I'm disappointed. All right, so just a couple last words. And I don't know how deep I'm going to go with this, because what?
Don't be the bigger person.
Oh, Ralph, thank you, sir. I'm not trying to be, but I've got to address a couple things. The driver's a fellow Marine. I'm extremely disappointed in the lack of integrity in this person. A man admits their mistakes, accepts the consequences, and moves on. You're going to be better tomorrow. Instead, this person bashes everyone but himself for running illegal. The driver has claimed on social media, so you guys understand this. The driver has claimed on social media that he informed me of his intentions. I believe I'd remember such a conversation. But for the sake of argument, let's assume that he did. The dilemma arises in how I was expected to prevent his actions. You can tell somebody you're going to go shoot them. How am I supposed to stop? I didn't push personal conveyance. I didn't push the accelerator. In an attempt to prove to his followers on social media that he told me about his intentions to run illegal, he posted the following. I want you guys to pay close attention to the date, okay? He wrote, the 704 number is him. 3 phone calls the day I PC'd home. This is my phone record. I hope you can see this. I'm going to hold it still.
Mhm.
The date, if you can see it, let me go this way. See it? 704. The date is 11/27. That's a week after he did it. So, I don't know if that makes him a liar or mentally incompetent. I don't know what it makes him. But rest assured, people, I'm going to tell you now. After this driver was placed out of service, fraudulently recording his logs, he was put on probation, sent both the personal conveyance regulations from me personally. I emailed them to him. I sent him the FMCSA email. Yet he continues to post that he was not under dispatch. So again, does it make him a liar or just incapable of learning? Now, guys, I want to tell you something. I'm not going to say this last part. I'm just not. I'm going to leave it alone for a minute because I'm pissed. But I want to tell you something. You do anything in an attempt to hurt me or this company, hell no, what is it? Hell knows no fury. This guy doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. He only knows half of what he thinks he knows. And if you're listening to him, he's going to run you down the same fucking path. That's what's going to happen. He needs to go put on a skirt and be the little bitch that he is. Now, let me explain this. I'm over this. I'm not going to mention it again. The next time, I will absolutely turn his logs to the DOT, to the DMV. He will be so covered up in attorney paperwork, he won't be able to find a sandwich. Now, I've had it. You make the choice. You fuck around and find out. I would like to take a moment, take a breath, and open this up to the floor. Questions and comments, please. Thank you. Now, everybody that's here, thank you for coming. I'm not really excited about having to throw all this garbage out. But if it's a fight you want to fight, I'm ready to fight. We want to take this as a learning experience. I'm hoping this driver takes this as a learning experience. I hope he learned something from it. So, yeah, we're going to try to teach. All right, so let's talk. What do we got? Doesn't matter who the driver told he was going to PC. Telling someone you're going to break the law doesn't make it legal to break the law. Very good, Heather. That's absolutely correct. Now, I appreciate the comment. It doesn't make it legal. You know, but yeah, when, you know, at the time, the date he was talking that we had talked, I was actually behind him. We were both on 77 running north. That's why I called him 3 times, because I'd almost caught him in the scale. I don't get to run very often, so when I get out on the road, I'm pretty damn happy about it. So yeah, he was at the scale house there on at the Virginia line. And that's, you know, those are the times I was calling on the 27th. But guys, PC, you know, the lesson to be learned is this, okay? And I've preached it for years. PC lets you go from point A to point B back to point A. If you're in a truck stop and you want to run down the road to Waffle House, you can go to the Waffle House on PC and you come back on PC. It's just a little bit of stuff. That's all it is. It's nothing that allows you to further the load or the interest of your business. You can't do it. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions, do we? Jason, when a driver's getting put out of service, do you get notified? I get notified on the road, and within 5 days, I will get a hit on my CSA score. By law, you have to notify the carrier. Now, I had one guy not do it. He didn't do it at all. I've only had 2 drivers put out of service. Okay. The first guy never notified me at all. I got hit and then saw the hit on my score. I look at my score every morning. This driver notified me roadside as to what happened. So yeah, you're going to get notified. It may take 5 days, but you're going to get notified. The driver, our company policy, just so you know, is that the driver has got to notify us, and actually me, has to notify me while he's still roadside, so that I can review the stop to make sure there's no, there's no out of service. There's no issues where he cannot move. So this driver was pulled over at one point and in the state of South Carolina, and he was pulled over twice. He was put out of service one. He's written up once. I said that in the deal. All right, we're good. Ralph Aldrich. The fact is that not only does go to the company, it also goes on his record, and it'll cost him more in insurance. Absolutely. It hurts everybody. This is, these guys that want to run out there and think they know everything and won't listen and they're going to kill themselves, or worse, they're going to kill somebody else. 15 hours? Come on, guys. Nobody drives 15 hours. And let me tell you something. Whether you're on PC or you're not on PC, you are required to follow the hours of service. If you're in that vehicle, if you're in a commercial vehicle, you are held with that CDL to a higher standard. There are basically, if you hit a gnat, it's your fault because you're the professional driver, not the gnat, and you will be blamed for everything. Okay, thank you, Ralph. I appreciate it, buddy. Frank G. Trucks. I'd be mad. AF. That guy risked your business, your income, your fellow drivers, and your insurance. Will take a hit. He's a clown. He's an ass clown. That's what it is. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you, buddy. All right, Sharon. It's sad that he felt the need to give you and Mila so much grief after you guys have done for him. Well, I think this guy wants to be some kind of YouTube star or something. I think that's what he ought to do. I think he ought to go play YouTube something or whatever. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not going to be risking me anymore. That's for sure. All right. The scary part is if he doesn't lose his CDL, some other company may put him back on the road. It's true. It is true. Look, he's done it twice in less than 30 days. Think about it. Twice. So I think that if we don't have any more questions or comments, I think we're going to cut it loose tonight. We got one. Just crazy to run on PC when you had plenty of hours, right? Doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. So, guys, I really appreciate you coming. I hope everybody learned something. I'm sorry I was a little bent out of shape, but I've had about all I can take of this clown, and I'm over it. So we will not be discussing this anymore. And yeah, so look, here's a good thing. We're all alive. We've got great families. I love all of you. Love you for being here. We got the holidays coming up. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait till I see my presents under the tree over there. Hope you guys got your tree up, man. All right. So, guys, love your family. And we will see you next week. Thanks for everything. If you need anything, reach out. I'm here. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. Next week, don't forget, we're going to do the charity. So be here for that. All right, guys, we'll see you later.